Alright, this is one of my favorite things to make. Baked Ziti. Easy as ABC 1, 2, 3. The only thing with this dish that you need to have is you do need to have a good amount of time. Okay, to start this baked ziti off, you're going to want a pound of nature's most perfect ingredient, bacon. Then, you're going to want about a pound of these Italian sausage links, or about 5 links. You can use bulk, but I prefer the links for this recipe due to when I go to chop them up later. Pop them in a 300-degree oven and let them cook to perfection. Then, 2 standard-sized jars of spaghetti sauce. You can find these at any grocery store, and 16 ounces of ricotta cheese. The reason you're going to want to start this sauce early is because ricotta takes a while to meld and blend with your sauce, and you want that wonderful, creamy, gooey goodness. Alright, next up I'm going to rant about why it is so stupid to buy those frozen, disgusting, baked pasta dinners. One of the things that absolutely drives me nuts, especially with pasta bakes, is most people's pasta bakes begin and end with frozen Stouffer's lasagnas. Look, pass that crap right up. And don't give me that it's too well, it might be time consuming. It is time consuming, but don't tell me it's too difficult to make pasta bake from scratch, like Baked Ziti. Don't tell me that you buy the Stouffer's out of because Baked Ziti's too complicated. As we're already rolling along, these are some pretty simple steps we're doing. Just, you have to have the time. And really, I'm doing a bit more extravagant one that does take a little more time. But, there's quicker recipes, and I'm sure I'll get to quicker pasta bakes. But don't buy the frozen stuff. The frozen stuff tastes like the ass end of a dead rhinoceros. Just for taste alone. And to impress your friends, and to have them think that you, slaved away on this for hours. Yes, you might have been cooking for an hour and a half, but you were not slaving away for most of it. The oven did most of the work. So if you want to impress that chick that's coming over, try this. Alright, let's get back to our baked ziti. Okay, one thing I didn't show you was the boiling of the ziti noodles, but if you can make spaghetti, you can make some ziti. Same exact concept. Get them to al dente and then blast them with cold water once you've drained them. The reason is I want to stop that cooking process immediately because they're going to go into a big oven. Now, get some olive oil and stir it around in the ziti pasta because this prevents sticking. Alright, we're just about ready to start chopping up the meat. Alright, you want to take nature's most perfect ingredient, bacon, and I have to use a hot pad here because I'm doing this right after it came out of the oven. You want about an inch-sized pieces, little more, little less, not going to matter. You just don't want bacon crumbles because they'll kind of dissolve in the sauce, and you want a nice piece of bacon. And then, of course, add it to the already finished ziti. Okay, and much like the bacon, you want to chop this Italian sausage into good-sized chunks. Kind of use this as a guide. They're, once again, about an inch pieces. You should get about 5 pieces per link. And then I got a couple more steps and one more rant before we begin final assembly. Alright, before I rant about lazy day cooking, I just want to show this one last step. After you've got all that meat and pasta in that pot, add all that sauce and mix until everything is evenly coated. Now, as I've stated, this dish does take some time. Actually, I think quite a bit of time. Yours will vary depending on, how quickly you get the ingredients ready. Did you have them ready beforehand? And trust me, you can make all this stuff the night before. Just let it cool down on the counter, pop it into the fridge, and then bring it all out and whip it together that day. And you'll cut it down to about 45 minutes for the bake time. But if you didn't, this is a perfect, lazy day when you got a couple of hours to burn. A perfect lazy day recipe. And me, I love it when I cook for, 4 or 5 hours. But that's just me. You know, I mean, and you should have at least one day where you've got that much free time. You know, 6 hours. Treat yourself. I mean, and this is to all the parents. Do your kids really need to be involved in like 9 different sports? Must you cram every minute of every day doing something? No. Make sure, especially Sunday afternoon. Sunday afternoon to Sunday night should be complete free time. That's just my opinion. You do things how you want, but this is a perfect, you know, I've got 6 hours to kill or whatever, you know. I've got a large amount of time to kill, so I can devote some time to this. And keep in mind, there's other stuff you can do with Baked Ziti, like I'll have in future some garlic bread recipes and cheesy bread recipes for side dishes and whatnot. So, yeah, I'll see everyone at the end. Okay, in a deep baking pan, you want to add all those wonderful ingredients that you mix together in the pot. I'm talking, you know, the 16 ounces of ziti pasta, nature's most perfect ingredient, bacon. Somewhere in the top 10, Italian sausage, ricotta cheese, the 2 jars of spaghetti sauce. And, you know, this dish is great for when you have family coming over or a lot of people coming over, because it's easy as 1, 2, 3. The only thing you need with this recipe is time. Now, before we add the final component, you want to make sure to have all that wonderful pasta kind of even out. You can just use a spoon to even it out. You know, the only thing with this recipe that you need a lot of is time. But you should have 1 day a week where you have the 2 hours necessary to make something like this. I mean, do you really need to be busy 24/7, 365, where all you've got time to make is a grilled cheese sandwich? I mean, come on. Oh, yes, one other thing. Before you put this, you want to preheat the oven to about 350 degrees, and then you're going to leave it in there for about 45 minutes. And then, before you put it in, you're going to want to add 4 cups, yes, 4 cups of mozzarella cheese, because this will make it a wonderful, wonderful, golden, gooey mess. And you'll see at the end when I pull it out of the oven. And please, if you're one of these health freaks and say, oh, that's so unhealthy, you know what? Do an extra 5 push-ups to burn it off. Like I said, this is a once-a-week thing, not an everyday thing. So, I'll be back when it's all wonderfully done. Okay, so miraculously, the 45 minutes have just whizzed by, and this is what you should end up with. Doesn't that look good? So, dinner idea tonight, and it is easy as ABC, 1, 2, 3. And that's it. That is a baked ziti, simple as 1, 2, 3, ABC. Anybody can do it. So I don't know why you're sitting there watching me. Get up off your little chair, go into your kitchen, and make this. And to be perfectly honest, I don't have the receipt with me, but this thing cost me about 18 bucks to make. So it's not terribly expensive. So run out, grab it, make it for your wife, make it for your girlfriend, make it for that piece of side action, make it for your husband, make it for the pool boy who keeps coming over even though you don't have pools. So, yeah. Easy as 1, 2, 3. Anybody can do this. And because this is also a great starter recipe for anybody who's never cooked anything. Why? Because this recipe is really, really, really forgiving.